Hello there. Welcome to this edition of Ask an Expert. I am not an expert. I did, however, think that would be a clever name for this segment. My name is Cody Downing, and I am reporting proudly from the Simple Basement. The subject matter covered in today's feature film is multi-personality disorder. That is also the name of the diagnosis of the individual. Eve White is her name. This is a type of neurotic disorder. It's classified as a dissociative disorder, and it is a relatively rare disorder that occurs when there are two or more distinct personalities that coexist within the same individual. In the film, Eve White, Eve Black, and Jane were the three personalities that all coexisted inside the same individual. The film about Eve White is called The Three Faces of Eve. It was created in 1957, and it stars Joan Woodward, David Wayne, and L.J. Cobb. The symptoms shown in the film are very common to the individuals suffering with this disorder. Most notably, the symptom of coexisting personalities, of course, and it was very accurately depicted in the film. Other symptoms that were also shown in the film include headaches, amnesia, and what were described as blackout episodes. Eve White's real-life treatment involved interviews with the patients and her family, hypnosis, hospitalization, EEG test, memory test, ink blot test, and intelligence test. The movie accurately depicted the most important part of Eve's treatment and left out some of the more trivial details. Note here the multiple personalities of the real Eve White. After that, you can note the remarkable similarities between the real Eve White and the Eve White portrayed by Joan Woodward.
Are you feeling well these days?
I feel tired.
Feel tired? You felt tired for some little time, haven't you?
Yes.
I see. Do you hope and expect that this will all soon be terminated?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I think Jane would be the one.
You feel that she will be the one?
Yes.
How do you feel personally about it, though?
But it's just something that's got to be.
Do you
I
feel...
want to get well, and if that's the only way to get well, that's the way I want it.
Do you feel that you will be in any part of it?
No, I don't feel that way.
Does it cause you distress?
In a way, I worry about Sarah.
You feel that she may not be taken care of?
Yes.
I see. Do you regret going, or what's your feeling about it?
No, I'm tired.
Could I speak with Eve Black now?
Sure.
Eve Black? How you feel?
I feel good.
Good? Why?
I don't know.
You
I
enjoyed-
always feel good.
Did you enjoy the trip over today?
Yeah. It was disappointing, though, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, you know, I thought we'd just zoom through space and then we were just creeping along like a little caterpillar. I didn't even feel like I was moving.
That's your first airplane ride? How do you like all this?
I think it's real exciting.
Do you?
Don't you?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I guess it is interesting in a way. But I think it's more exciting than interesting.
How long have you been out?
Huh?
How long have you been out?
Do you mean in all?
Mm-hmm.
Off and on all my life.
All your life. You remember some things that happened in your childhood?
Yes.
You remember things that happened to Eve White?
Hmm?
I see.
I know everything that happened to us.
Could I speak with Jane?
Sure.
Jane?
It is real exciting, Dr. Dickman.
You enjoyed the trip over?
Yes, I do.
How do you feel about the future?
I'm optimistic.
Do you think that you will be the surviving one? Or
I think that's difficult to say right now.
I see. Do you feel hopeful?
Yes, I'd like to live.
I see. What do you feel about the little girl?
Well, she seems like my own now. I've been around her quite a while.
I see. You're rather looking forward to it?
Yes.
You don't mind the responsibilities, obligations?
First I get this terrible headache, and then I get this spell.
Now, when you say spell, you mean you faint or anything like that?
No, sir, it's not like fainting. It's more like, well, it's like the other day I was playing out in the backyard with Bonnie, and all of a sudden I got this splitting headache, and then the next thing I knew, the next thing I was conscious of.
Mrs. White?
Hi.
Feeling better now?
I feel fine.
What was it, a headache?
No, I didn't have no headache. She had one, but I didn't.
She?
Hey, you got a nice place around here. Oh, she always gets those headaches when I want to come out. I think she's a real dope, don't you?
Who are you talking about?
Eve White? These hose. They're nylon. I'm allergic to nylon. I think I'll take them off. You don't mind, do you?
If you like.
I think you better turn around, though. You're kind of cute, but I don't think I know you that well.
So you're not Eve White?
I certainly am not. Hey, maybe one night this week, you can tell your wife you got to see a patient.
And do what?
Go dancing. I bet you're a real cute dancer.
Well, I doubt if my wife would agree with you about that. But getting back to the point here, if you're not Eve White, who are you?
Now, what you trying to do, kid me?
Seems more likely you're trying to kid me.
I'm Eve Black. Who are you?
What do you think?
I have no idea.
May I ask who you are?
I don't know that either.
The three faces of Eve show three distinct and separate personalities, all within the same individual. Personality number 1 was named Eve White. She was a wife and a mother. She was quiet, polite, and timid. Eve White had a sort of sadness to her. Eve Black was the second emergent personality. She had seemingly been coming out since she was 6 years old. Eve Black was an outgoing party girl, quite opposite from Eve White. She denied ever having any children and despised the idea of having a husband. She would simply say, "You're Eve White's husband, you're not my husband." Eve Black smoked, bought extravagant clothes, and went out singing, dancing, and drinking nearly every night. Eve White nor Jane did any of those things. The third face of Eve was known as Jane. She was a sweet and sincere person. She seemed genuine and likable. Her only flaw was that she lacked any memory of childhood. Jane was known as the more likely to be able to survive on her own, the more credible woman of the three. Together, these three women in one were like watching a roller coaster ride. The Three Faces of Eve was incredibly accurate. Most films tend to Hollywoodize the material in order to make the film more interesting. However, this film was intended to be more of a case study type film rather than a Hollywood type depiction. Upon comparison, the YouTube videos of the real Eve White and her coexisting partners and the movie The Three Faces of Eve were incredibly similar. In fact, a large part of the movie's dialogue came directly from Dr. Luther's videos and documented conversations. Dr. Luther, of course, was Eve White's treating psychologist. The movie accurately depicted the symptoms, treatments, and real-life emotion caused by this disorder. The only thing that was inaccurate about the movie was that at the end of the movie, Jane was a character who emerged and survived, and the other characters' personalities seemed to die off. Jane was cured and lived happily without suffering further. In real life, Eve White actually developed more personalities and continued to suffer. Other than that, the movie was spot on with its depiction of Eve White and with its depiction of multiple personality disorder. The message communicated by this film was a negative one. Eve lost her husband. She lost her daughter. The film showed that struggle and hardship come along with these other personalities. At one point, Eve White's personality even tried to commit suicide. Little is known about how those with multiple personality disorder are cured, but from what one can tell from the Three Faces of Eve, there was little hope of ever finding an actual cure. Upon inference from the movie, one just has to wait until the other personality dies, in a sense. Eve's life must have been a hard one, full of pain and struggle. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching this segment of Asking an Expert That's Not Really an Expert. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative and entertaining. If you didn't enjoy this video, at least be thankful that you no longer have to view it. If your name is Dr. Owens, please show your appreciation by awarding this video a favorable grade. Thank you, and goodbye.